Greetings friends, Jawless Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it with some more weapon aspect discussions and rankings. We'll be ranking them S through F, although truthfully we don't really have very many that go too low. Supergiant did a pretty good job of balancing these, so we don't have a huge range of variance in them. I think the lowest that anything comes to is like a C or something. Today we're going to do the shield and the bow. So we'll start off with the aspect of Zagreus as usual. Attack and dash strike damage plus 15. Okay, so this is a very straightforward bonus. It's just 15 extra damage on your attack and 15 extra damage on your dash attack. This is a pretty nice bonus. When you add raw damage to a weapon, it's pretty good because a lot of those multipliers, if they're applied to a larger number, obviously they do more damage. And then there's also a couple really good hammer upgrades for this. So there's one that makes your attack a double attack, but you don't knock foes back. And then another that makes your dash strike even bigger. And it's also notable that the bull rush is not affected at all. So they don't consider that an attack. It's got the exact same, well, it wasn't fully charged, it's 40. So they don't consider that to be part of the attack. Some good combinations would just be anything that gives a percentage increase to attack damage. So basically anything but Zeus, Ares, and Dionysus. The rest of them all have percentage increases to your attack. So those should all be very, very good for this weapon. I think that it's very strong. I would give it a high B tier. Moving on to Aspect of Chaos. After you bull rush, your next special throws multiple shields. This is a beloved weapon, a weapon beloved of many. As you can see, you can shotgun these shields. The other thing that's nice about this is just the sequence of bull rush and special is a very safe way to play. It's a very defensive and offensive at the same time in a very nice way. So if say you're fighting a boss and you're doing your rotation of bull rush and special, bull rush and special, and suddenly, oh, they're charging up a big attack. We'll just hold your bull rush and you'll block anything coming from that direction. It's incredible. And then the special throwing off multiple shields. Obviously, if you can put some bonuses on the special, you get some wonderful effects. The Zeus on the special is well beloved, but honestly, I think just about anything is very, very good. Ares is one where you wouldn't shotgun, but you can throw it and just like delete the screen, much like we saw with the others shield run that I did. You can just apply doom to everyone, and that's very, very nice. You notice that it doesn't bounce as much, so that's something to note. It might be different in that way, but just the sequence of bull rushing and specialing is very, very solid, and the shotgunning effect is very, very nice. S tier for sure. That may seem like a bit of a, for people who haven't used this very much, that may seem kind of crazy. But just believe me, when you start playing with Aspect of Chaos and you get into that rhythm of bull rushing and specialing, you kind of feel invulnerable in some ways, and you have a very good clear speed as well. A lot of high heat runs are done with the Aspect of Chaos shield. It's just very solid. Next, we have Aspect of Zeus. Your special becomes Blitz Disc. Blitz Disc base damage per hit is 30. So Blitz Disc, you throw out your special and it kind of hovers in place. And while it's hovering, you can still attack, you can still bull rush, dash attack, everything. And then after a amount of time, it comes right back to you. Or alternately, you can throw it out and then push special again for it to start coming after you. And it's kind of a nice combination where you just dash around the screen and this thing just follows you like a, I don't know, not a push lawnmower, but like a pull lawnmower. Is there such a thing? I'm sure there is. Tractors pulling those giant lawnmowers. Anyway, it's very, very nice. And it does 30 damage, and it does it fairly quickly, right? You can get some high numbers. So as you can imagine, percentages increases with this are very nice, but pretty much everything is good with this. I would say the only thing that maybe isn't the strongest would be like Ares on the special, because unless you've got the boon that lets the dooms stack, in which case that's great. But if you don't have that, then it's maybe a little bit, maybe some of the damage is left on the table. I like this aspect very, very much. A lot of people find this to be the most the worst shield aspect. They don't like the way it works. They don't like the way the special works. I have found that sometimes I act differently when I'm playing this, and I do dumb things and take damage that I shouldn't, because it's just so fun to watch that thing do damage, and so you end up doing dumb things. That being said, I think it's very strong. I give it an A. It's got a lot of potential for damage, and I think it's just fun as heck. A tier. There's maybe not a lot of special hammers that are really good for Aspect of Zeus. Explosive Return is one, but Explosive Return is good for everyone. There's not a shield that doesn't love Explosive Return. Next, Aspect of Beowulf. This is our legendary. You have Nagling's Board, but take plus 10% damage. Dragon Rush bonus damage in area is 100%. So it's a cast weapon with a nice move set on top of it. So as you can see, your Bull Rush is enormous, and at the end of the Bull Rush, all of your cast stones go off. And as you'll see, they don't stick in enemies. What's nice about that is that you can get your stones back right away. And that's very, very nice for any cast build. Getting your stones back in some way is extremely beneficial. Some fun combinations for this one would be like Dionysus. You get a nice big explosion, area explosion, and then it's made even bigger and even more damage. So actually, I should mention that all of the casts, their name changes. They change from being a cast to being flare. So, like for instance, Ares. So Ares cast is usually slicing shot, but with the Aspect of Beowulf, it's slicing flare, and your cast sends a large blade rift, hurling ahead for a brief time. So it's a larger blade rift, but it's a shorter amount of time that it's there. And it does 30 damage per hit versus 20. So something to keep in mind, you may want to check some of the casts that you might be interested in to see if they are different. I really like Artemis. Artemis has, nice crits on her cast, which are a lot of fun, and it's a large area burst, so you're doing area critical damage. It feels great. The 10% damage is notable. I mean, that's certainly not nothing, but I wouldn't say it's a huge downside. You can still block attacks with your Bull Rush. It's notable that the cast will explode at the end of your dash. So for instance there, it missed Skelly because I passed through him and ended it over here, and then it went off there. So you kind of have to time your Bull Rush correctly to get it to land. He has a different throw as well, and it does more damage, as you can see, but it's slower to wind up, and it doesn't bounce as much, but you can buff it up with some of the same hammers that you normally would. It has its own special hammer upgrade that makes it so after you use Dragon Rush, you are sturdy for a few seconds. This is very, very good. Sturdy is an amazing effect. It's straight damage reduction, and then in addition to that, you cannot be stunned. When you're charging up, that's exactly what you want, because if you get hit while you're charging a weapon attack, a lot of times you get stunned out of it. S tier. Honestly, it's so much damage. The fact that it changes a lot of the casts to be different or to function differently, it's good and it's bad, right? Sometimes it's a bonus, and sometimes it's a little bit of a nerf. But basically, any of those casts that were normally a projectile just become an explosion. I like the weapon a lot. It's a lot of fun. Let's move on. Let's talk about the bow. Aspect of Zagreus, your critical chance plus 10%. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. Some people really like this. I would say that the effect is fine. 10% crit is great. Like I said before, crit is very, very nice to have. I would just say though that the kit of the bow is a little bit awkward. There are some really great hammers for the bow though. They've made a lot of cool ones. I'll list a few that I think are just awesome in general. They'll be on the screen here, but you've got like a power shot that gives you extra damage. Your dash attack, basically all it does is it makes the power shot be active faster, whereas like normally you have to wait that long, but with the dash attack it comes a lot quicker. But the special is terrible. You can shotgun the special, but then you've lost all of your range ability. Aspect of Zagreus, the critical chance effect is neat. I wouldn't say that it's It's terribly effective, and just the fact that the base kit of the bow is a little bit weak, I'm going to put it down in C tier. Crit being amazing is all that really keeps it out of like even lower territory. Anything that affects the attack by percentage is going to get the nice crit bonus on it. Like I've said, just anything but Dionysus, Zeus, and Ares should work. Aphrodite being the highest percentage potential, right? She has the highest possible number that you can get. Aspect of Chiron. Your special automatically seeks the foe last struck by your attack. It reduces the number of shots in your special from 9 to 7. That's not very many to lose. The truth is, you don't typically hit with all of your special arrows as it is, right? Like the odds of you hitting with all your special arrows with the base, attack is very, very low. So this is a very nice attack. As you can see, it lasts for about 3 specials before the tag goes away. There's some really great combinations with this. For instance, if you get Dionysus on your special and Aphrodite on your attack, you can get that duo boon between Aphrodite and Dionysus. Makes you be able to stack up to 8 poison on an enemy, and all of those arrows are hitting, so you're getting all 7 stacks. That being said, there's a few hammers. Like there's a hammer that increases the number of special arrows that you get, so it goes from 7 to I think it'd be 11. That's very nice for it, but you really want to get, in my opinion, you want to get speed, or speed on the special. So Hermes, if you can get Hermes special speed upgrade, that's going to help you out a ton on this one, because you're specialing a lot and the special is kind of slow. Chiron bow, I give it an A. Very, very solid. Very, very solid weapon. I like it a lot. There's lots of cool combos. And honestly, you can get Artemis on the special. That's just fun too. It just shreds enemies. If you can get lightning on the special, you can go for like Sea Storm on the special. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Okay, next we have Aspect of Hera. Your cast loads your stones into your next attack, firing on impact. And then the bloodstone drop time is 5 seconds. So this is one of the best 1-point wonders in the game, I'd say. You put 1 point into this, and the only thing you lose out on by only having 1 point is the bloodstone drop time isn't as low. So the idea with Aspect of Hera is, hold on, I didn't actually choose it. Is you load your casts into your shot, and then they all go off on the enemy that's hit by the cast, or by the shot. So you can get some very nice burst very early in the game. So that was 200 for 1 shot. But if you get like Dionysus cast, you can get a large area burst, and it's some of the highest burst in the game, I believe, if you get a power shot and you get like Dionysus cast. It's great. It's super, super fun. And then there's a fun build that you can use with Hera bow where you get Dionysus cast, and then you also get the Zeus Dionysus duo, and you've got lightning storms. It's one of my favorite builds to use. It just is spectacular. So that's Hera bow. I give it a high A, if not an S. I mean, it's got potential to be S tier. It doesn't seem like that amazing of an effect all by itself, right? There's no damage bonuses on this, but the fact that you load your casts in has just such a nice effect, especially with some of the casts that have like area damage. Those are very, very nice. I wouldn't recommend it with like slicing shot. It seems to work strangely, and I wouldn't recommend it too much with Aphrodite, although there are some people who they're able to release their attack early enough so that all of the Aphrodite casts do hit the enemy. I can't seem to get it to work consistently, but that is possible as well. Next, we have Aspect of Rama. You have Celestial Sharanga, which can cause shared suffering. Shared suffering, basically the way this works is you tag an enemy, and then the next attack that you hit has that additional 60% of your attack damage on top. But the nice thing is that the special bounces, and so it can tag multiple enemies, and they will all take that 60% damage. You see that little teal number? That's the number that is taken by all the enemies that get hit. So it's a slower charge up time, as you can see, but a wider arrow, or shockwave, I guess you could call it. It doesn't even look like an arrow anymore. Obviously, if you get like the percentage bonuses on your attack, that's very, very good because it affects the shared suffering as well. And it's just kind of like you're double dipping on your damage. that can be very, very nice. And then I like to put like Dionysus or Zeus on the special because it hits lots of enemies, so you can get the whole room poisoned with one special. It's great. There is a specific hammer for this one that makes it so when you're charging up, because it takes longer to charge up, sometimes you're left vulnerable a little bit. But this one creates a blast wave, so it sends enemies away from you. Very, very nice to have. How do I feel about the aspect of Rama? So some people feel like it's a little clunky, just because of how how long it takes to charge up and whatnot. However, I think that it's got so much damage potential and room clear potential that I have to put it in S tier. I know that I've put a lot of the legendaries in S tier, but I mean, they're legendary, right? They're in there for a reason. They take a little bit more skill to play effectively, but once you do kind of figure them out and kind of get the build rolling, they are super fun and super powerful. So that is the aspect of Rama. I hope that all makes sense to you. If you have questions about any of these, please let me know. I'm excited to move on to the claw and the rail as soon as I can, but for now, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like the video. That helps the video get seen, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff. I really appreciate it. Take it easy. We'll catch you in the next one.